So a while back, I did a video on Clark Kent and Lex Luthor's evolution from best friends to worst enemies. Lex was not only Clark's best friend, but also his resident billionaire, there to make his humble farm boy life a little easier. When Clark and Lex's friendship completely broke apart, Oliver Queen was there to step in as his new resident billionaire. But Oliver and Clark's relationship wasn't as deep or as close as Clark and Lex's. First of all, each relationship started out very differently. Clark and Lex bonded by Clark saving Lex's life.
I could have sworn I hit you.
You did. And be dead.
After they formally met, Clark and Lex were drawn to each other because of their different upbringings. Clark was an adopted farm boy, but had loving, nurturing parents. Lex was the blood son of a billionaire, but he was treated like a bald-headed stepchild. Lex was definitely attracted to the love and acceptance that Clark received from his family. Deep down, he wanted Clark's life. That's why in the Lexmas episode, he dreamed that he was cut off from his father, married to Clark's girlfriend, still friends with Clark, and Clark's own father treated him like a son.
Lex, I never actually thought I'd say this. I couldn't be prouder of you if you were my own son.
He wanted Clark's whole life, but he wanted to keep Clark as his best friend. For Clark, he was attracted to the flashy life of a billionaire. But I really think it was the part of Lex that was like a wounded animal that really attracted Clark to Lex. Clark was not Superman just because he had superpowers. He was Superman because he wanted to save people. And Lex needed saving. If they were romantic partners, Clark would have suffered from the "I can save them" complex that many people do when they're in abusive relationships.
The real Lex would never try to kill me or Chloe.
Oh.
Since he's thought about killing all of you, just never had the guts to go through with it.
Is the real Lex still alive?
Oh, you don't get it, do you? I am the real Lex!
In Clark's mind, Lionel was the villain. And as long as he could separate Lex from Lionel, he could save Lex. But then two things happened. One, Lex took Clark's girlfriend. And two, Clark took Lex's daddy. When Lex saw that Clark was confiding in his awful father, despite the fact that he had a loving and caring father all of his life, and that Lex's father treated Clark like the son he never had, that cut Lex deep. I don't think even getting Lana made up for that hurt. Now, Clark and Oliver had a more contentious start. They started off as vigilante rivals, then reluctant colleagues.
I was thinking about something with the word justice in it. After all, that's what Lex is going to get a big dose of. This is just the beginning.
Over time, they became closer, but they never had the feeling of brothers like Clark and Lex did. When Lex needed anything, Clark would move mountains to help him. He even put his beloved Lana in danger to save Lex.
Wait. Keep away from me!
He risked exposure to break Lex out of Belle Reve. Clark just didn't go to the same lengths for Oliver. I mean, he did put on Oliver's green suit to trick Lois into believing that Oliver wasn't the Green Arrow. But he got to kiss Oliver's girlfriend for his thanks. No real risk.
And Ollie's a good kisser. Don't get me wrong. But that Green Arrow, he could teach Ollie a thing or two.
Plus, I think he did that more for Lois than for Oliver. I think the difference between his relationship with Lex and Oliver was that Oliver was a vigilante himself. He didn't need saving. In early seasons of Smallville, Clark needed to save Lex a lot. Almost as much as Lana, who somehow had a different stalker in almost every episode that she appeared in. But Clark only had to save Oliver from himself.
Oliver! You pulled a gun, Clark. I had no choice.
Lex? Lex? Now let nature take its course.
Oliver, that's the drugs talking. It's not you.
Hey, that drug is the best thing that ever happened to me, Clark.
Oliver, you're not a killer.
No, but he is, Clark. Listen to me. You and I both know the world's a better place without Lex Luthor.
So he didn't get the same wounded puppy feeling from Oliver that he got from Lex. At one point in the later seasons, Oliver even mentioned to Clark how hard he was on Oliver and how Oliver just needed his support.
Oliver made his own decision to come out to the public. He didn't think about what it would mean to the rest of us.
No, I mean any calls.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. Mr. Kent hasn't left word.
He's always so Oliver, I didn't know that he needed me.
But he does. Be there for him now, and stop punishing him for his past with your silence and your distance.
I think this was around the time of him pulling an Iron Man and coming out as the Green Arrow.
This isn't about who I am, it's about what I do.
So Oliver did long for a closer relationship, but it took Clark a while to come around. But even then, he still wasn't as close to him as he was to Lex. And my main evidence to this is Lois. Lex dating Lana broke up that friendship for good. Oliver was a major relationship for Lois. Once she knew he was the Green Arrow, she broke it off for good because of her complicated relationship with her father, the general, and not wanting to be left behind again. Then, the very next season, Clark and Lois become closer. Lois develops feelings for Clark, and Oliver even comforts her when Clark disappoints her at Chloe and Jimmy's wedding.
Well, who's the lucky guy?
Having this conversation with an ex is bad enough without turning up the awkward dial.
If you like, we can start now, and I'll just be a really good friend.
But I thought, just for a minute, someone needed me.
Well, I'm sure he needs you, Lois.
How do you know?
Because I know Clark.
Then in the 9th season, Oliver realizes he still had feelings for Lois, and Clark had an issue with it. He said he would have stepped back, but would he have really? But Oliver humbly removes himself from the situation. And beyond that one episode, it isn't really mentioned how Clark stepped in and started dating Oliver's ex. Even when there was an episode where they all ended up at the same bed and breakfast for adult activities. They just framed it as two friends dating two cousins, and hijinks ensued.
Well, don't look at me. I learned a long time ago not to assume what belongs to who in that apartment. You gotta use context clues. Save any orphans recently? Old ladies, maybe? Something like that?
I did stop a bank robbery.
Yeah, it's nice. It's fun stuff. Oh, well, there's a new compound bow I'm trying out. Yeah, it seems pretty good.
Oliver was even the best man at Clark and Lois's wedding. Clark did not concern himself with Oliver's feelings at all. I guess by then he was married to Chloe, but there were plenty of times it should have come up before he married Chloe. The Clark, Lana, Lex saga went on forever, but Oliver got 5 minutes in an episode with Clark offering to concede after he mean mugged him when Oliver almost got Lois shot. So yeah, Clark was not as close to Oliver as he was to Lex, despite the fact that Oliver was his new stand-in billionaire and Oliver knew his secret, which he never willingly revealed to his best friend Lex. I think deep down, even though Clark wanted to save Lex, he knew he couldn't trust him.
You're gonna join me.
What?
Think about it, Clark. My intellect, your powers, Together we could rule this world. Where is he? Where is he? Meteor Rock. You were right about me all along, Mr. Kent. I am the villain of the story.
Maybe he was waiting to see change in Lex before he could confide in him. So he trusted Oliver way before he could trust Lex, but he still kept Oliver at arm's length. So, who do you think Clark was closer to? Oliver or Lex? Let me know in the comments below. Also, if you're a fan of Smallville, check out this playlist of a Clark Luthor fanfiction I did. It includes a recap of Clark Luthor's storyline on Smallville. If you enjoy my videos, please support my channel by subscribing, joining my membership, or donating through Ko-fi or Cash App or Super Thanks. Or you can purchase merch related to my fantasy novel or just buy my fantasy novel, The Fairy Princess. And let's continue the conversation in the Fairy Princess Facebook group. All links in the description. Thanks.